Hey Vikings, I'm Will Zwerneman with the Norseman podcast, and I have senior Nate Surley and junior Finnian Curtis here with me today. How y'all doing?
Pretty
Good.
good.
It's good. So we're basically going to be discussing the progress the welding team has made with their monster truck after partnering with Northern Tools and Monster Jams. So thank you so much for being here today. Uh, how y'all like welding? Is that just like a fun thing to do?
I love welding. Mr. Lady is a really good teacher.
It's fun, it's new stuff to do. It's always new.
So how have y'all progressed on the monster truck so far?
We had a minute where we didn't have any of the materials that we needed to actually start on it.
I heard about that. Y'all got that the Wednesday before the break started?
Yeah. So a lot of what we were first doing was just thinking about like ideas of what contacts we can make to get the materials that we need, because not all of it is coming straight from Northern Tool. And just thinking about how we can make it look good. And there was a mix-up between the height of it, which was just like a complete accident. But besides that, it was just kept thinking about like what designs to put on it and like things we can do without having to actually put it together.
Yeah, it was a little difficult trying to like just draw basically for 2 weeks of what we wanted to, just trying to draw like how we wanted it to look with like no materials, nothing like that. All we had was like the frame, the engine, and the tires.
Right.
So y'all have basically been planning for the past month or a month and a half?
Right.
Yeah,
So-
basically.
And I know y'all are about 10% done with the monster truck. How has that planning affected like how much you've built so far?
It's worked well. Like,
Yeah.
today was the first day we really got to like. Today and yesterday were the first 2 days we really got to like actually start cutting and stuff like that. And we've already got most of the frame done, or like most of the base done.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it is like Mr. Lady just trying to explain to us how we can like actually build this stuff together too. So it's a lot of talking and planning and less like actually putting it together.
And so y'all had expectations of the truck, and you're building a third of the size of an actual monster truck.
Right.
How has the expectations of the monster truck lined up with reality so far? Like in terms
Pretty
of
good.
framework, yeah.
We spent a while trying to line up the first framework because that's really important. It's just how you start off, how big the entire thing is. And an actual monster truck is like 12 feet tall, and it's pretty long. It's like, probably like 20-some feet long.
I think, yeah, the Monster Jam ones are around 20, yeah.
Yeah. So we got it 7 feet long, and we're expecting it to be like around 5 feet tall.
So how has Mr. Lady have had an impact on the monster truck building process so far?
He's trying to stay like hands off, but also hands on, because he doesn't want to just cut everything and do everything for us, but he also wants to like teach us how to do it, so like everything's done right, everything's done correct, and so I mean, it's been a really good blend of it.
He's made that really clear. He like told us that like we gotta really be putting in the effort and like making sure that we're the ones actually doing the project and not him.
Yeah. So how many people are working on the monster truck, and how many hours a day are y'all putting into it? Because I know y'all are gonna. Mr. Lady said that y'all are gonna start working weekends.
Mm-hmm.
How many, like right now, how many hours are you putting into it out of the how many people?
I think in total on the team, I think we have, is it 15?
Probably, yeah.
I think it's like 15. It's because he has two
Yeah.
block periods of like second year welders, and he's got around seven or eight on each block. And normally, like depending on who it is, some people's schedules just some people have, like I have office aid, and then football. And since I'm graduating, I'm done. So I'll stay in there second, third, fourth, and fifth. But other people can only stay in there. They're blocked. So it just depends on each person.
Right. People come in early and some people stay late, but for the actual project, like it just depends because we're just kind of like trying to plan and like talk to the whole team before we actually like do some stuff too. So sometimes there's not even work that we can do right then and there.
Mm-hmm. So I know y'all are only like a tenth of the way done, but what are some of the things you've learned and benefited from building this monster truck?
Big one right now we're doing is like squaring everything, because with the big thing with the frame is if any of the frame isn't square, the rest of the build is going to be like leaning left or right, or it's going to be unstable, it's going to rock, stuff like that. So just making sure everything's like absolutely like square. It's a big learning curve because it's not easy to do, especially like when you start actually welding it and stuff like that. It likes to bend and move, so it just trying to like work with that and also like keep it going.
I think that so far the entire project has just been like trying to get it into our own hands and like make sure that we're keeping it on the creative side, because we have a base idea of how the project is supposed to look, but we still got to like keep our brains working and like figuring out when problems do come that we got to like be able to get over them.
So the deadline for this project is in May, if I'm right. Y'all think y'all can make the deadline?
We
I
hope
think
so,
we
yeah.
Especially with like the weekend stuff.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be every single weekend working from
It's gonna
7 to like 12 at night, but it's gonna be like we have like most guys who come up from like 10 o'clock to like probably like 6, just in that time, because there's no school, nobody's leaving, everybody's just working consistently on a project. It'll speed everything up a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna basically double y'all's time and stuff.
You can get a lot done in like just consistent hours instead of just like 2 periods in the day.
So, in terms of career, y'all want to go into welding as y'all's career?
Yeah.
So, So y'all are planning to go to trade school for welding. What trade schools have y'all?
Not planning on going to trade school. So
okay.
If we can get like enough certifications in high school or like even on an actual job site, then we won't need to go to trade school, because you can just like get kind of hands-on experience, and then you'll just like kind of be sent straight into a job. But you just kind of got to build your way up, because you just like start at kind of ground zero. It's a lot to learn.
Yeah, essentially what he says, just because I don't want to go to trade school either. It's just because welding's one of those things that you can pick up hands-on, and you can even go out of high school with nothing, work on a job, and then within a couple of years you can be a welder. It just depends on the person. And then some people do like really like they think that the welding school is like that's the better for them. It just they understand it better, but most people just understand it like just working on it and actually doing it first.
Do y'all have any like careers like specifically lined up, like anything after it?
It's kind of just like welding is really broad. It's kind of, there's a lot of different forms of it. So for me, I would like to eventually get like in the really high end stuff where it's like industrial and like pipeline stuff, except that's going to just take a long time, because I just got to start really, really low and just work my way up and make sure I have that confidence to like be able to put that level of work out, you know.
Interesting.
There's a fabrication shop in Granbury, Texas, where my grandfather lives, and I've been talking with the owner of that.
That's great. Honestly, y'all are basically working on your careers, and it's working out pretty well right now. So on this project, I mean, we're talking big stuff right there, but now we're back to this project. How have y'all enjoyed this project so far?
It's fun, especially now that like we started actually being able to like work on it like fully. Like most of our time going into that, like it's a lot more fun, because like drawing and all that, like it's not really something you like doing. It's something you have to do because it's a part of the job, but it's not going to be personally, it's not one of the things I like doing.
Right, and I feel like the entire project, just being able to get with a group of kids and like being able to put our heads together and being like figuring out what stuff works and what doesn't work, it's just like the entire process is really fun.
What are y'all looking forward to most about this project? Just like finishing it, or?
Personally, it's learning how to do everything.
Yeah, the experience probably, because like we learn how to do the different types of welds in the welding class, but it's never something where it's like we're building something over multiple months or anything like that.
And so I know welding is like one of the most popular CTE classes in this school. I think there's 150 kids, like sophomores and freshmen, lined up. Do you think that if even more kids sign up, do you think there's going to be more classes and more teachers, and it's going to become like a cornerstone of the school?
I do think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it could. The only problem with welding is it's so expensive to get a program started, because you have to buy all the welders, all the welding material, all like the safety equipment, all of that, and just getting all that ready is just so expensive. It's just hard to get more people doing it. Like even having 2 is still like pretty big for most schools.
Right, and like our teacher was talking to us about how like thousands of dollars were going into just the regular stuff that we just burn through. So we got to make sure that we're using it right, and just like making sure that we're not just burning through money, because like the littlest things is just like it's money that's just on the floor and things like that, you know.
And so Northern Tool and Monster Jam partnering with and Brown High, this is the only school in America they partnered with. Do y'all like that? Is that fun?
Yeah, they're saying that when the project is done, they're going to take it like store to store over a few years, and
Really?
yeah, they're going to show it, and I think they're just going to put it like in the front to just display it, but it's their project, but we're the people building it, so I think it's really fun.
So, Nate, you competed against 125 students from around Texas and placed first while receiving your certification for sheet metal welding via gas metal arc welding. How has that gone into building this project up so far?
Quite a bit, because the main thing is MIG is what we're most doing, and that's what we're doing the project. That's what I was certified in. It's one of the easier weldings to do. Compared to stick and then TIG, it is the easiest one. But at the same time, like if your settings aren't right or if your motion is not right, then it can mess up an entire thing.
What did it mean to you to win first place at such a big event?
It meant a lot. Mr. Lade he'd been making me go day after day. I think 2-3 weeks I would do MIG every day for 2 hours. It was just MIG every single day. The same plate, the same sheet, the same gun, the same spot, and I'd weld it, and then like you said earlier, saving money, you have to grind it all back down, and then weld back over it, grind it back down, weld back over it, and just over and over, just that repetition is just keep going, and then once you get to a certain point, it becomes muscle memory of just the feeling, and then once you finally once I won, it was kind of just I felt how much it all paid off.
So, and you qualified for state. So, how are you preparing for that so far, mentally and physically?
Mentally, just trying to understand and trying to think about because different competitions will have, because I'm certified for level 1, and so different competitions will have a different level 1. So they could have the next level 1 could be a stick, it could be TIG, it could be MIG. It just depends on what they want. So just trying to get better at all 3 of them, and just trying to get better at all positions. So then I can have a better chance.
Not just overall.
Yeah, just kind of overall trying to get better at all 3.
Well, thank y'all so much for being on this podcast. It was great having y'all.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.